Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the party. Today is Wednesday, March 19th, 2025. This is episode 837 of your Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. I am your host, Dr. Gerald Auger, and hopefully you can hear me as we continue day 2 of the new audio mixer. Let me know. What is this? Ad blocker trying to get me to sign up for a premium plan. Hold on one second.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
All right. Really quickly, guys, I hope everybody's having a wonderful Wednesday. Let me know if the audio needs to be adjusted. We are doing this in production. Definitely not the right way to do it, but it is the option that I have available to me at this time. Guys, I want to say good morning. This is Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Brief. I am your host, Dr. Gerald Auger, and alongside friends of the community like Code Brew, Aide, Tim McDonald, Jenny Housley in Mod Chat, Triple D, LaGrotte, Marcus Kyler of the Yeet Crew, Ross, Mr. Shannon Wilson, Zombie Guy Justin, as always, volume up. Now, Adi, when you say volume up, I need more, like my volume, my microphone, the music. Those are two different things. So we'll have to, here. I'll goose my microphone a little bit. How's that? Let me know. I need more descriptive. Mic is cracking. Okay. Okay, your mic is popping, question mark. I don't know if that means it is popping or you're asking me. I don't hear it popping. So I really wish we could get this sorted out before. All right, we're going to get this going. Looks like I'm clipping. Let me go ahead and go down on gain. Hello, I just lowered my gain. So let's do that. All right, so I lowered the gain. Code Brew says it's better. More cowbell. Hey, Chris Rock from Sim Monster. I do love myself some Chris Rock. All right, we're going to continue moving along. Let me know. Guys, we're going to be sharing the top cybersecurity news stories of the day alongside friends like Roswell UK, Chris Rock. Mic is cracking a little bit. Here, how about if I put the microphone further away from my big fat face? How's that? Usually I've got my face right on the microphone, so let's play this game today where I keep my face right here. Yeah? Way better? Okay, here we go. So let me do this really quickly. And mods, if you can give me real-time feedback, I would love it. All right, guys, we're going to share the top cybersecurity news stories of the day. My goal of this show, the point of 837 episodes in a row, is one, to start my morning with you and the whole Simply Cyber community. I'm a big fan of that. Oh, gosh. All right. It's to deliver value. Okay, whether the mic's popping or cracking, the audio's not perfect, the lights aren't great. The point is that I want to enable you to be able to drive cyber risk reduction for your business stakeholders today in a tactical way, right? So how can we use this information today to make actions, and in a long-term, more strategic strategy on kind of bigger picture geopolitical things. If you're going to have to ask for budget for new tooling or whatever to address emerging threats, that's what we're doing here, because it takes time, it takes money, it takes power, and political capital in some instances to get things done. So that's what we're here to do. On top of that, we're here to support our loan operators. Maybe you're Kyle or Stones fan, Augusta Delgado, those individuals who are operating solo, one-person teams. Maybe you're Chris Rock outlanding somewhere in the Outback, coming in on a Starlink. Whatever it is, just know you got a virtual workforce. Really quick, I see Wading Through Logs in chat, who posted publicly on social media about a new opportunity. Wade Wells, been waiting to see you in chat so I could do this.
I came in like a
Nice, dude. Love myself some Wade Wells, and congratulations to him. Continue to crush it, Wade. Guys, also want to let you know, if you're looking to break into the industry, there's going to be mad value here for you, because you're going to be asked in any interview, how do you stay current? This right here is a banger of an answer. Slim Daddy, save that question until 9 a.m. Eastern time, top of the hour, 56 minutes from now, where we will be doing the Jawjacking which is a 30-minute mentoring AMA session. So definitely save that question for then. Guys, I don't research or prep for any of these shows. In fact, we've gotten to the point where I'm not even really able to do audio checks before the show goes live. So everybody's super busy. So I certainly don't have time to research and prep for this show and go through all the stories in advance. Ain't nobody got time for that, as usual.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
What I am going to do is give you an honest, thoughtful, deliberate review and feedback on my experiences. And if I don't have something to give, the mod team's there, the Simply Cyber community is here, and we're going to level everybody up. So it's all about good times. But before we get into it, let me do say shout out and thanks to the stream sponsors, those who enable me to bring the heat to you every single morning, including 837. The sponsors who enabled me to fund this new Roland Bridgecast mixer to replace my Go XLR. And, as we work through it, we'll just all remember this, much like we remember Spidergate, Crankgate, April Fool's Day with the Discord, and now it's Roland Bridgecast AudioGate. Let's hear from the sponsors really quick. And when I come back, I'm going to tell you how this show can solve your CPE problems. Believe that. Let's go. I want to give some love to the Daily Cyber Threat Brief sponsor, ThreatLocker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with ThreatLocker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust ThreatLocker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. ThreatLocker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Heroes support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how ThreatLocker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. Visit threatlocker.com. As a person that exists publicly, especially since I share my opinions and hot takes daily, I'm hyper aware of my safety and security, and it's even easier to find personal information about people online these days. All the data is just hanging out there on the internet, and it can have real-life consequences. But I recently found a solution, and this service is called Delete Me. Delete Me is a subscription service that removes your personal info from the largest people search databases on the web, and in the process helps prevent ID theft, doxing, phishing scams, stuff like that. And when you sign up, you tell Delete Me what data you want deleted, and they go off and do it. The cool thing is you get a personalized privacy report every month that shows what they deleted, where they found it, etc. It's pretty cool. For me personally, it's like outsourcing your online privacy, which honestly, I don't have time to do that myself or do it well. So for them to handle it is awesome. Take control of your data and keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me now at the special discount for Simply Cyber listeners. The only way to get 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/simplycyber and enter code simplycyber at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/simplycyber. All right, definitely appreciate that. And we also have Antisyphon training. We do have a automatic video for that one. Oh, by the way, I should have told you this. I turned on the equalizer and tinkered with it while we were on the ad break. So let me know if I sound way worse or way better. I did make production changes. Please don't notify DJ BSEC or Base Case that I'm doing this live in production. They will be quite angry with me. So let me know. I want to let everybody know today is the day, March 19th, 11 a.m. So in 3 hours from now, right? 3 hours from now, Red Team Summit's going down. Eric Taylor of Barricade Cyber will be co-hosting. And Red Team Summit is a free 1-day, 5-hour, basically conference, virtual conference. Okay, I sound like an old time. Here, I'll turn the EQ off. EQ is off. I turned the EQ off, okay? All right, we'll get it sorted out. Okay? So just check it out, Red Team Summit. The thing is, I don't want anyone to miss this today, Red Team Summit. If you have the availability, if you have the bandwidth, I'm telling you, it's absolutely worth your time to check it out. Kimberly can fix it in chat. Good to see you, as always. All right, so yeah, I turned the EQ off. Who knows? I don't know. You know what I shouldn't do? Mess with things. Real Bilbo, for what it's worth, Real Bilbo, this is kind of a fun little side story. When we were at Zero Trust World, Real Bilbo was running cabling, and I started trying to run cable too. And he's like, Jerry, go get a coffee and talk to somebody and just go somewhere else. I'll take care of this. I was like, oh, all right. Antisyphon's Red Team Summit. Tell them you're a Simply Cyber member for a high five at the door. I also want to say shout out to Barricade Cyber Solutions, the longest sponsor of the show. Barricade Cyber Solutions is dedicated to helping businesses from cyber attacks and recover from the damage done. Now, cyber attacks can cause massive issues for businesses and send dedicated, hardworking business owners into turmoil. But Barricade Cyber Solutions knows how to mitigate the damage done by cyber incidents. Believe that. Check them out. Hold on, get out of here. What are we doing? Check them out at barricadecyber.com. Links in the description below. You definitely want these guys on speed dial, right? That way, if you ever get punched in the mouth, you've got a friend on speed dial that you can instantly get a hold of and help get sorted out right away. Eric Taylor, you can call this phone number on stream, or you can use the Calendly link right now to get on his calendar. Many different ways. Just remember barricadecyber.com for all you need. Now, I want everyone to know, even though the microphone's crackling, and I'm gonna go ahead and lower the gain again to 39 dB. I want everyone to know that the Daily Cyber Threat Brief is worth half a CP. So say what's up in chat. Grab a screenshot. The chat is right above us. It's all you need to do is grab that screenshot, file it away once a year, count up the number of screenshots, divide by 2, or multiply by 0.5. You choose your own math adventure. And what you end up getting is the potential of having up to 120 CPEs if you do it every single day that we're here. I'm telling you, it's easy. Getting CPEs the last minute really sucks. It's all about not being good. We're about to go around the world, though, which is something we do every single Wednesday before we get going. Now, some people get a little pissy about this because we don't get right into the news, but this show is a podcast, but it's also a community experience, and we do something fun every single day. And Wednesdays, I'm very proud to point out that we demonstrate just how awesome this community is. Right now, we got 294 people in chat. I've got a new mixer, which is causing, some issues or whatever, but we're going to get to it. So I'm going to set the timer to 2 minutes, 22 seconds. I'm going to give Daft Punk a little goose here. And let's just see if we can go around the world. Chris Rock is in chat, so we might even have Australia on the channel here. Let's go, really. And let's go. All right, Carrie's in Texas. We got United States on. Oh, wait, hold on. I got to set the timer. 2 minutes, 22 seconds. Here we go. Let's go. Real Bilbo. Thanks for the super chat. Don't submit a ticket. Operators are standing by. Thank you, Real Bilbo. Appreciate it. All right, Virginia and North Carolina is in the house. San Diego getting up early. Nerdpocalypse again, waiting to log. CP's in the house. Alberta, Canada. Darius Cater bringing us online. South Africa's in the house. Thank you very much, South Africa. All right, sounds like I'm being drowned out. Team Sippy Cup, you can expect to see them. Richard Duff, Western Australia. Let's go. Australia's online. Niagara Falls, Canada. Daft Punk is too loud. Utah, I've lowered Daft Punk. Thank you very much. Israel, we got Middle East in the house. Boom. Ethiopia, yes, sir. We got Africa online. The UK is here. Welcome across the pond. My man, Montreal, Quebec is in here. Oklahoma. We got Brazil, South America online. Poland, Sunfulus, as always, bringing the heat. Just in time. Oyen Demola is in the UK. I got Colombia. Whoop, Venezuela, you are not here. All right, let's keep going, guys. We if we get Asia in a hot second, we are already going to crush it. Mara Levy's in Philly. Triple D, can you check in? Are we in the Philippines? Boogie Down, Bronx. Love it. I love it. Big L, rest in peace. Sudan. Ooh, Sudan. That's a new one for us. Here we go. Pakistan bringing Asia online. Guys, we're around the world already, and we still got 1 minute. Holy crap. Cameroon waking up early this morning. Look at us. I used to love playing Cameroon's soccer team back in FIFA 94. Triple D is here. Philippines, we're just going to go ahead and mark it. We are now we're just flexing. Stockton, California's in the house. Orlando. We got more Pakistan. I see it. Mars, Mad Dog Prash bringing in the intergalactic, not like Beastie Boys. We got Cali in the house, Big New York, Sudan. I see you, Tal. We got you covered. More Sudan. Welcome to the party, pal. I forgot to say, if today's your first time, do let us know with the hashtag first timer in chat. Slovakia is here. Slovakia, isn't Slovakia close to Scandinavia? Where are we? Ukraine, Moldova, Romania, Hungary, Austria, Czechia, Croatia, Bosnia, Serbia. Where the hell is Slovakia? What am I missing here? Slovakia. Damn. I'm going to need Ireland's in the house. I do need, hold on, I'm sorry. I do, does show my ignorance a little bit from time to time. I thought I had, yeah, it's right above Hungary. I was super close. Where is it? Slovakia, Czechia, Hungary. There it is. See, we make it happen. Slovakia in the house. All right, guys, let's take a quick look here. We're going around 1 second, checking the map. We've got North America, South America, Africa bringing the heat today. Europe, Asia, Australia, Jamaica me crazy. We'll call Jamaica Central America just for the sake of argument. Israel brought in the Middle East. Not only did we get all the major continents, we even got the subcontinents. Ladies and gentlemen, we, Team SC, just went around the world. And that is how we do that. So thank you all so very much. Zaki Amin bringing in South Carolina. Czechoslovakia back in the day. We got Czechia. India is in the house. Thank you very much. Vijaya. Guys, holler at you. We just went around the world. Thank you so very much. It's one of my favorite things to show is that this community isn't just a bunch of like American, white males or whatever. Like this is a diverse, international, inclusive community, and I freaking love it. So thank you all so very much for going around the world. You should all be proud. I am super proud about this community. Now it's time to get to work. So do me a favor, sit back, relax, and let's let the cool sounds of the hot news wash over us in an awesome way. I'll see you guys at the mid-roll.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Wednesday, March 19th, 2025. I'm Sarah Lane. Last week, a U.S. district judge ruled that the U.S. administration unlawfully fired over 130 probationary employees from various government agencies, including the Department of Homeland Security, which oversees the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, or CISA. But CISA posted a message on its website claiming it lacks complete contact information for all affected, asking former staffers to reach out to verify eligibility for reinstatement. Rehired employees are said to receive full pay and benefits while still on administrative leave. Alphabet's Google Cloud has acquired cloud-based cybersecurity.
All right. So this isn't a political show, okay? So we're not going to get into what's right or wrong. There's plenty of shows for that. What I will say is CISA, like many federal agencies, are dealing with DOGE layoffs or reduction in workforce. Now, this happens in businesses all the time. And there are unions, there are labor laws, there's all sorts of things protecting employees that are unlawfully terminated. And in this case, those type of laws are being exercised in order to protect those employees. Now, it sounds like in this instance, they're just getting paid. They're not back to work, which is kind of comical because the whole point of government efficiency is to save money, but now we're paying people not to work, which seems like the opposite. So we'll see if they get back to work. It's 130 former employees. There's been many layoffs, so this is just a drop in the bucket of all of those. As far as it relates to us, guys, CISA has been doing all sorts of different election security, basically, oh my God, secure by design initiatives, America's like the known exploited vulnerability catalog, threat intelligence sharing. They're doing all these different things. So where these employees existed, I don't know, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, right? Because they're not going back to work. They're just getting paid. So, So this is like, okay, really quickly. This is what cracks me up. Okay. And I again, this isn't a political show, but I do want to educate people here really quickly on best practices around termination and access management. Okay. So when you should really think through what termination looks like for employees, and you got to think through both involuntary termination and voluntary termination, i.e., you're fired, get out, and congratulations on your new gig or your retirement, right? Like wading through logs, it just started a new gig. I bet you he was given like a gold watch and like a Subway lunch party on his way out, right? They didn't walk him to the door when he gave his notice and told him, like, you're out of here, like DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince getting thrown out the front door. Okay, so there's different ways to do it. However, when you don't think through the actual processes and things that need to happen, people are going to come up with stopgaps or their own solutions to solve the problem, right? Scrappy solutions, which is fine for like little tech startups. But when you're the United States federal government, arguably one of the largest enterprises in the world, when you're asking former staffers to email a password protected attachment with your full name, dates of employment, and identifying information like your date of birth or social security number to prove who you are, this is not good. Okay. So first of all, here's who I am, right? First of all, you're a threat actor. Here's an idea. Bundle up a password protected attachment full of malware and send it to CISA.
Please see attached.
Right? You got that problem. Then let's go ahead and email the CISA people from whatever email address we want, since this is a friggin' crap show. And like, CISA.official.communication CISA.official.communication@gmail.com and say, hey, we didn't receive your password protected attachment in order to give you back pay, which we want to give you. We want to give you back pay plus an extra 50% because we feel bad. Love DOGE or love CISA. Please use the attached executable, or please download the attached executable in order to properly send us this information, right?
Please use the attached executable to send us this information.
Again, threat actors, this thing right here, this is nonsense, right? This is how, like, to me, this is how like a school council or a PTO group kind of sends information. It's hodgepodge, it's slappy, it's janky, and it's riddled with risk. And this is what we're doing here because no one's thought through this, and it's a crap show. So that's what's up. Again, this is not an editorial diatribe on Elon, on DOGE, on the current administration, on policy decisions, on layoffs, on furloughs. That none of that. What I'm telling you is, as a practitioner, me and you, right? Luke Canfield, Elliot Matisse, Slim Daddy 9, we are not the ones who decide termination protocols. That is a conversation that we get to advise in with the executive team and HR and stuff like that. But this right here, this is a horrible, stupid ass practice that's going to cause problems. All right? Just saying. You don't have to be this one.
At Wiz for $32 billion. Wiz was founded in Israel and was valued at $16 billion back in 2024 while preparing for an IPO. This more than doubles Alphabet's acquisition of Motorola Mobility for $12.5 billion back in 2012. The Financial Times sources say that Wiz and Alphabet have agreed to a $3.2 billion termination fee, which lets Wiz run like an independent company if the deal falls through or is significantly delayed. Reuters first reported that the U.S. Commerce Department...
Who's the reporter on this one? She needs to take a breath, dude. Sarah Lane, please. Give us a pause between the stories. Okay, so check it out. This is really wild, okay? This is super wild. Oh my God, Real Genius? Who said that? Space Tacos? That's such a throwback. Val Kilmer, OG, Real Genius. That's so good. Oh, that's such a good deep cut. All right, so dude, this is insane. Get Stacy Loki on the phone. Stat. We need to know what's the inside thing. Dude, we're talking stupid money here. Okay, Wiz is a cloud security company. They are absolutely killing it. You want to talk about the bell of the ball? You want to talk about like what Gen Alpha, Ohio, Skibbity Riz, whatever. I don't even know if that's good or not, but Wiz has got Aura, like Sigma Aura 3000 and whatever else the kids say. Wiz is hot, man. Like Wiz is like,
that Hansel's so hot right now.
Google, who has a Scrooge McDuck-sized piggy bank, offered them $23 billion last year. $23 billion. And Wiz was like, nah, we're good, bruh. We're going for that $100 billion valuation. We'll see you later. Peace. So Google goes back, gets another snow shovel of gold doubloons, throws it in the wheelbarrow and sends it down the pike here. And Wiz is like, 32 billion? All right. But did you hear the concessions? So hold on. Hold on. Phil Stafford says my ears are bleeding. So Phil, given today's particular show, today and yesterday and probably tomorrow, I need to know if that is like editorial feedback, that my production audio is jacked up and it's too loud and it's making your ears hurt, or if you're like, I don't know if that is something I need to take action on. So please. Okay. So anyways, one of the cool things is that Wiz gets to continue to operate completely independent of Google. Now, if I had to guess, right, I've been around the block. Like this gray hair in my face isn't something I added. Okay, like this is something that's natural. I didn't just use like an inverted just for men to make myself look older. I'm old. So here's what okay, sound effects. Sound effects. I think I said the wrong word here. All right, hold on. I'm turning sound effects down. Sound effects have been turned down. Thank you. Most companies that acquire other companies will give them like some time to stabilize, and then they ingest them. Wiz said that they can continue to operate independently. So Google must have really been thirsty for their technology stack and their book of business. This is literally the largest acquisition ever. Even though Wiz is given the opportunity to operate independently, if I had to guess, they will be ingested the same way Mandiant was, right? Mandiant and Google acquired Mandiant like 5 years ago, and like Mandiant still kind of operates their own thing, but it's slowly been ingested. If you're using Wiz, so here's another thing I would say. If you're using Wiz, chances are it won't be a problem for the next, year or so. And I'm not saying that Google is going to make fundamental changes to Wiz, but it's like anything else, guys. Like large companies have their own policies. Whenever you get merged, like, oh, this is the way we do work here, so like let's start adopting it. I've told you this a million times before. Management loves to put their fingerprints on things, right? Like Wiz is doing great work. Yes, thank you, Chris Rock, for hearing what I said. Management loves, putting their fingerprints on things to make it like, oh, like I went to Yale. I went to Wharton Business School. I know better than you, tech startup that we acquired for $32 billion. Let me put my things in there. So look for that. The other thing I will say to everybody here, just in case this is like one of those macro things that if you haven't been paying attention or if you're new to the industry, you wouldn't know. But there's been like this massive grab going on, maybe the last 7-8 years, where the large players, your Cisco's, your Palo Altos, your Microsofts, your Googles, are acquiring capabilities instead of developing them. It's just faster to go to market and make your total solution more comprehensive, right? So think of Cisco acquiring Okta or Cisco acquiring Splunk. Now they've got identity and access management. They've got SIM, right? And now I don't know if Cisco has acquired an EDR solution, but like I'm sure, whatever. Who runs? Oh my God, Cisco AMP. Isn't AMP the EDR that they bought? Hold on, Cisco AMP. Yeah, Cisco Secure Endpoint, formerly AMP. So I'm bringing it up on stage. It doesn't say it here, but trust me, it used to be called AMP. So Cisco bought that. Anyways, the TLDR here is this is like a super common thing in industry for the big players to acquire capabilities. So then you have one stack, right? Microsoft's been doing this. They have Sentinel as their SIM. They have Defender for their EDR. They have a couple other ones. Microsoft's more likely to build it in-house than acquire it. But anyways, that's the thing. All right. Okay. Hopefully the static sound is not super problematic. I apologize, guys. I know there's 400 of you here today, and my audio may be a little off. I'm sorry. We're working through it. That's all I can tell you.
Has banned the Chinese artificial intelligence model DeepSeek on all government-furnished equipment, citing security concerns. Staffers were informed of the ban via email, which instructed them not to download or view or access any applications, desktop apps, or websites related to DeepSeek. U.S. lawmakers have reintroduced this.
All right. All right. So if you work in the government, if you still work in the government, sorry, maybe too soon. U.S. Commerce has banned DeepSeek, right? Just like Kaspersky's been banned. In case you haven't been paying attention, there's been a major decoupling in the global supply chain, global ecosystem, or global economic ecosystem. Basically, if you're like a BRICS country, Russia, Brazil, India, China, South Africa, and several other countries that have recently joined, but the acronym was already developed first, your tech stacks are getting kind of like low-key banned or shadow banned. We saw TikTok, obviously Kaspersky antivirus lost a huge deal with the U.S. government, and now DeepSeek's being banned. Okay, I mean, really, here's my thing. Number one, DeepSeek was kind of like a rush job that went quick to market. It had some issues. You know what DeepSeek reminds me of? Well, okay, let me tell you about this story. Dude, we have so many options right now. Anthropic with Claude, Gemini, ChatGPT, if you want to go old school. Like, there's plenty of options. You don't need DeepSeek. What I do want to tell you is when I think DeepSeek, it makes me think of this. Okay, hold on. It makes me think of this. Okay, you guys see what we're looking at here? This was the U.S. Space Shuttle program, right? They all look really similar. We got Columbia, Challenger, Endeavour, Discovery. Challenger is the one that exploded in 1984 with, or was it 84 or 88? I think it was 88 with Christina McAuliffe. Anyways, let's look at it. So if you didn't know, like, this is the Russian space shuttle program, right? A lot of people have like broke into these. This whole thing collapsed after the end of the Cold War. But you may notice that these space shuttles look remarkably familiar to the United States ones. Okay, look, this is a side by side. The one on the left is US based. The one on the right is Russian. Okay, it's not like they went to the same engineering school and somehow came up with the same ideas. This was espionage, right? Got the blueprints. So DeepSeek has a lot of like ChatGPT looks to it, and it was kind of rushed out. So anyways, you don't even need it, but it's banned for the U.S. government. So what I would say is if you are supporting the U.S. government, either through contractor or your civvy or your DOD or whatever, and you're starting to play with DeepSeek, just to do yourself a favor, you probably want to pivot and check out something else because this is, obviously this is going to proliferate. All right. That's a quick and easy story.
Cybersecurity for Rural Water Systems Act of 2025 to protect small water utilities from cyber threats by expanding the circuit rider program. First introduced back in 2023, the bill, if passed, would authorize funding for cybersecurity experts to help rural water systems with populations of 10,000 or fewer residents, improving their defenses through training, technical assistance, and reporting. Those in favor of the legislation say only 20% of U.S. water systems currently have adequate cyber protection, highlighting the bill's importance.
All right, we covered this story, well, I don't know, earlier this week, potentially. So here's the deal. Do rural water, what, I don't even know what they're called. Like, they're not communities, but like rural water, oh my God, there's a right word for it. Jay Gold, help me out. What do they call this thing? It's like authorities. I think they're called authority, like rural water authorities. Yes. Does their cybersecurity suck? Absolutely. Is this going to help? A little bit, but like I did the math live on stream the other day, like back in the napkin stuff, like each one is going to get like $10,000 or something like that. Municipalities, thank you. You can't we're not going to move the needle here very much for 10 grand. Now, granted, 10 grand can buy a lot of duct tape and bubble gum, which is what these municipalities and authorities are using to, put their IT and security together. Get someone buy Justin Gold a Shirley Temple. And I'm just kidding. He's old enough to drink. In fact, I've had beers with Justin Gold. But someone get him alone and get him some drinks, and he can talk about sewer and water and the realities of it. I've had a couple of those conversations with him. It's wild. So water is important, though, right? Like we as humans die without water. We as humans die if water's polluted. Look at what happened in Flint, Michigan. Imagine if Flint was an actual deliberate attack versus just, malfeasance and negligence, right? All right, hold on. Right. So we'll see how this goes. I almost feel like this is more about, whoever the senators are that are presenting this type of legislation for their constituents versus actually delivering cyber risk reduction. They're going to deliver on-site training and technical assistance to rural utilities across the nation that lack technical, financial, and managerial resources and in-house expertise. So here's my thing. Like, again, this is where we go like beyond the story and think for ourselves. They're going to send people on site to train who? Who are you training? Like, you know what I mean? Like if you're a manager, if you're a paper pusher, if you're not lead tech 0-day person, right? What is the training going to do for you? You're literally going to hear. Elliot Mati says it's a bit performative politics. Like I said, the funding is too low to make substantial difference. Right. Like, yeah, technical assistance. Here's the thing, like Justin Gold just mentioned, multi-factor authentication. Okay. Dude, I will call it a win if we can make MFA happen at all of the municipalities. Hopefully the training is why MFA is important and the technical assistance is like turning it on. But you've got to remember, I don't know, I hate to be so cynical, but I've just seen it so many times. You go to these rural locations, right? Could be a small business, could be utility, whatever. When you go to these small locations and it's like, 8 people, 12 people, 15 people, and they're the ones who live in the same community with each other. They're the ones who show up every day and put the work in. And then you've got some, I'm being hyperbolic for the sake of entertainment here, but you got some city slicker who comes in on a Doc Hollywood sports car and does 1-day on-site training on the importance of multi-factor. And you're just getting a lot of this action from the people who are at the training, or you're getting a lot of this, like, because they don't give a crap, right? So I want this to be impactful. I would love it. Like, I want my water protected, right? I want to be able to flush the toilet and have it go somewhere and do something. I want to be able to turn on the spout in my kitchen and get a glass of water and drink it, right? I want to play sports with my kids and come in and get hydrated. So I appreciate this. I just unfortunately not sure if this is going to impact the way it says it's going to. Okay. Again, I would love to be proved wrong on this one, but just back of the napkin math, it just.
Thank you to our episode sponsor, Delete Me. Data brokers bypass online safety measures to sell your name, your address, and social security numbers to scammers. Delete Me scours the web to find and remove your private information before it gets into the wrong hands by scanning for exposed information and completing opt-outs and removals. With over 100 million personal listings removed, Delete Me is your trusted privacy solution for online safety. Get 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/CISO and use the promo code CISO at checkout. The only way to get 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/CISO and enter code CISO.
All right, hold on one second. Hold
just
on.
Launched a new.
Really quickly, I saw Chris Rock in chat say, you know what this is going to do? This is going to make circuit riders $350 an hour richer. So I just went back to the story really quick. This Rural Water System Act updates and expands the circuit rider program, who are the individuals that will be providing that technical assistance. I clicked in, and apparently, like, anyone can apply to this. The application window is open, and I'm assuming this means that, like, if you live in like Midwestern Montana, and there's a Midwestern Montana water sewer municipality, then that you'd want to go there. So, like, literally, I just dropped the link in chat. I'm going to pin it. If you're looking for work, again, I don't know this from a hole in the wall, but this seems like this could be a thing. So if anyone in chat's looking for work or maybe a side hustle, you know, you hit the lottery and retired early, but you're kind of bored, so you're looking for something to do. This could be you. No additional requirements. This is interesting. Thanks. I don't know if this is what Chris Rock was pushing, but you know, $350 an hour.
Straight cash, homie.
All right. Really quickly, we're going to just do a quick little speed run of this. Thank you to the stream sponsors, Barricade Cyber, Delete Me, Antisyphon, and Threat Locker. And thank you to all of you for allowing me the opportunity to work a new audio interface into the mix to be able to deliver this show to you. 433 of you beautiful babies in chat right now. I love it. I love it. I love it. Got a busy day of work ahead of me, but we're going to be doing the rest of the show plus the jaw-jacking segment. I just want to say shout out and thank you. It was Worldwide Wednesday, so we've already done the mid-roll fun activity for today. So I'm just going to jump right now to the la 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 la, since that's so much fun. And then we will get right back to work. Okay, here we go. I'm going to take a slug of coffee too. All right. Never gets old, guys. Never gets old. All right, let's slide back into the news.
He's just launched a new podcast, Security You Should Know. We've got more details at the end of this episode. In November of last year, Microsoft discovered Stellachi Rat, a sophisticated remote access Trojan, or RAT, designed for stealth, persistence, and data theft. In an analysis Microsoft published this week, Stellachi Rat steals credentials, cryptocurrency wallet data, and system information using advanced evasion techniques like API obfuscation and watchdog threats for persistence. The malware communicates with a C2 server using obfuscated domains, monitors RDP sessions, and can execute various commands, including credential theft and system manipulation. Microsoft has not linked the malware to a specific threat actor or geolocation. A former Department of Government Efficiency.
Oh my God. Okay. Here we go. So this CVE has a CVSS score of 6.5. I just ran DJ BSEC EPSS tool that's currently pulling. The flaw resides in the picture proxy PHP. I don't even know what that is. Let's see. All right, so ChatGPT allows attackers to force the application to make arbitrary requests via injection of crafted URLs. All right, so it's an input validation issue, right? So basically, because of this vulnerability, you can force a URL, like a maliciously crafted URL, to be injected into whatever this PHP file is doing. What I don't understand right now, again, I don't research or prep for these stories, so I'm trying to figure out how a threat actor actually gets this to, like, is someone clicking on this? Oh, the server is going to make the arbitrary requests. So then what? So you can make the server, if you make the server do a arbitrary URL request, you can have it pull down malware to the server itself. Right. It doesn't require authentication, so it's an unauthenticated vulnerability, which, yeah, no problem, because ChatGPT allows anonymous execution of prompting. I just don't understand who's the victim here. Oh, here we go. Look at this. All right, there's a 5-minute, 30-second proof of concept showing what's going on. I guess the thing is, I don't here. You can see it's doing the curl request in order to pull this down. Does ChatGPT have like a local instance you can like build? Is that the deal here? Is that what I'm missing? 1 second. I don't know. I guess I don't understand this one, unfortunately. I'm a simple one here, but I guess what I would say is, if you're interested in software exploitation of web applications, this would be an interesting one to check out. What I don't understand, this one's confusing me as to who is vulnerable and how the victims get attacked, right? Because here's my thing. Normally, all right. Right. So I see some people talking in here. Here's my thing. Normally when you have server-side request forgery or something like that, it's like you're hosting the web, like the victim is hosting the web server, and the threat actor is able to do server-side request forgery, making the web server pull down things, right? So for this instance, where financial companies and other industries are being targeted, you would think that they all have their own servers, but they're talking about ChatGPT, which is what I think. When I think ChatGPT, I think of OpenAI's hosted ChatGPT service. I don't think of local instances. So to me, there's a disconnect here on what is going on. I'm not taking away from the fact that this is a discovered vulnerability and someone's done a proof of concept. I'm not discounting that. Me as a practitioner, I'm not wrapping my head around what do I need to do here. Okay. Like, do I need to stop using ChatGPT? No. Although I chose to stop using ChatGPT. I use Gemini and Claude, but that's beside the point. Let's see what DJ BSEX thing says here. Holy crap. This one actually has a very high score percentage, 55. This one's actually really scary. 55% EPSS score, meaning there is a better than a coin flip chance that if you have this issue in your environment, it will be exploited in the next 30 days. And it is in the upper 98th percentile. Like, of all the vulnerabilities in the EPSS database, hundreds of thousands, this one is in the upper 2% of worst. Okay, so definitely warrants looking at this. Here we go. Banks and so Mod Chat's helping me a little bit here. Thanks, Justin. Banks and fintech firms depend on AI-driven services and API integrations, making them vulnerable to SSRF attacks that access internal resources or steal sensitive data. Okay, so I get it. What it sounds like is, if your company has developed custom integrations into ChatGPT's back end, right? Using APIs and stuff like that for your service, right? We joke, at least I joke, that a lot of like now with AI products are basically just wrappers for ChatGPT API calls. It seems like that is where this risk is coming in. I also find it wildly interesting that we're in the middle of March 2025, and this is a 2024 vulnerability. So that's kind of wild. What I would say is I would educate basically send this, given the EPSS score of 55%, I would send this article to your engineers, your IT team, your researchers, your developers, if you have developers on staff, and just say, hey, listen, if we're using ChatGPT, APIs or plugins or whatever for business here, be aware of this, because there's a really good chance that we're going to get punched in the mouth if we don't get this sorted out. Here, I'm going to actually drop a link to this story. ChatGPT story. That is in chat. And then NIST's National Vulnerability Database has this in here. This is actually a quick little aside. This is a perfect example of where the CVSS score is medium. And if you only use CVSS score as the indicator of how important this vulnerability is, you would miss this one, right? Nobody's got time for mediums.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
But this one looks pretty gnarly, dude. If it's in this upper 2 percentile of bad, and you've got a coin flip chance of getting punched in the mouth, I would prioritize this one. Great example of how CVSS score and EPSS differ and can inform the security practitioners.
Or DOGE aide Marco Elez violated U.S. Treasury policy by emailing an unencrypted database with personal information to administration officials without prior approval. This is according to a court document filed Friday, March 14th. The incident is part of a broader lawsuit by New York's Attorney General and others challenging DOGE's access to the Treasury's payment systems. Elez resigned back in February, and an investigation confirmed he had read-only access to payment systems but did not alter them. Security experts warned that this year's...
Okay. So, I got interviewed by Morning Brew when DOGE went into Treasury about access and all these things and audit. And again, not a political show, but if you are given permission and authority to access systems for audit reasons, then you have access, right? Even if you don't agree, politically speaking, just from an access control perspective, it's authorized. Now, there were some issues of having over permission, right? You shouldn't have write access. Auditors should have read-only access, period, full stop. Auditors should not be touching and modifying or changing configurations or doing anything else, okay? And there are rules around sensitive media handling, okay? Get your, oh my God, Professor Black Ops, what is it, MP3? Hold on, NIST 853. I'm going to say media handling is MP3. It's probably MP5. Okay, so MP3 is media marking. Okay, so marking what should be handled differently or handled correctly. And then an MP5, media transport. Nope, that's more of a physical one. Oh my God, I've lost my touch. Bro. MP2, media access. Okay, this is like read only, etc., etc. You're not supposed to send. Like, why this guy emailed an unencrypted database is beyond me. Okay, first of all, if I had to guess, and this is a totally ageist thing, if I had to guess, this guy Marco Elez is over 50. Okay. Hold on. I'm just going to do this in real time and see what's up. Marco Elez, Department of Treasury, age. Okay. Really quickly. Let's see how old this guy is. 25. Oh my God. I was way off. This is a bonehead move. Dude, why are you emailing? So here's the deal. If you got to send a database, what you do is you put it somewhere and then you link to it like a file share, and then you download it, right? Now, many things wrong here. One, unencrypted, not good. Two, emailing, not good. Three, probably didn't have any authority or reason to do that. So this is a whole lot of wrong. Okay. Now we'll see what happens from a punishment perspective of this person. But yeah, I mean, you can't. Here's the thing. I don't care if you're young, old, whatever. If you violate, like, this should result in him losing his clearance. Okay, like, this is not good. Now, maybe that's a bit of an overstatement. I'm basing that just on this quick story here, but you can't send out wicked sensitive information via email. Like, first, that's stupid. Second of all, hopefully they can go back and identify, who accessed it, what it did, what servers it's on, right? Who knows if he emailed it internal, like Treasury to Treasury or Doge to Doge, then it didn't leave the email server. If he emailed it to like his Google account, that's different, right? So there's a lot here. This isn't good. Really no reason to be emailing databases around. God, code brew. All right.
NCAA's March Madness tournament could result in more than $18.3 billion in losses due to cyber attacks and reduced productivity from office betting pools.
Oh
with
my
attackers
God.
targeting users with
Stop with that. Dude, $20 billion loss estimated from hacking and productivity impacts. Like, come on.
campaigns mimicking tournament brackets and betting promotions in an effort to steal credentials and financial data. Experts recommend modern email and mobile security, real-time threat detection, and user awareness training to mitigate risks. But betting platforms are also being spoofed to steal funds and account details. The increase in mobile use during the tournament often increases vulnerability.
Okay.
Threat actors are exploiting.
I'm going to just speed run this because we're running out of time. Actually, hold on. That's the last story. Okay, so check this out really quick. Two things to share. One, I find it completely poppycock to suggest that we're going to lose a material amount of money due to workplace performance impacts because people are sitting on their ass watching basketball all day instead of doing their job. First of all, the first week, yeah, there's games Thursday and Friday, but like, dude, like Cyber Monday is literally a holiday. I mean, it's not an official holiday, but it's like roundly accepted in the United States that Cyber Monday is a day that everybody goes to work and then does a boatload of shopping online. Like, what are we talking about here? So like, let's just push that to the side. To me, that is absolutely propaganda. Okay. Second of all, yes, March Madness, hacks, for sure. Listen to me. I don't care if it's March Madness, FIFA World Cup, like donating to the Republican Party, donating to the Democratic Party during the presidential election years. I don't care if it's the Masters tournament. I don't care it doesn't matter. Whatever is hot, right? Whatever's hot.
That Hansel's so hot right now.
Whatever is hot, that is going to be what threat actors are spoofing. Because there's a big eggplant emoji running around talking about whatever this is, whatever the thing is, and threat actors want to capitalize on it because they want to catch you in an emotionally charged state, not thinking logically, and then boom, you're done. Now, what makes this even more particularly interesting is because usually the hooks are like, oh, free tickets to the Masters, or you're going to get your account disabled, right? A sense of urgency or a sense of thirst. With this one, this is actually money related, right? So gambling platforms, if you didn't know, 38 states have legalized sports betting in the United States. And I don't know what it's like in other countries, and I know we're an international community, so please grant me grace because I don't know how it is. But in the United States, like, sports betting is out of control, okay? And it's like a $300 billion business. and people with gambling addictions it's a problem, right? So I'm telling you, there's tons of people putting tons of money in. So my point is, if a threat actor sets up a lookalike website for FanDuel called Fan-Duel and offers a free $100 bet or $1,000 bet or $10,000 bet, your choice, just choose whatever you want because it's not real. If you sign up right now, people are going to get wicked thirsty. They're going to be talking about it. They're going to be watching sports. They're going to be all geeked up on it. And they're going to fall for these things. And because they're expecting to put credit card information in and put money in and attach bank accounts and stuff, the threat actors are like,
oh yeah, I'm going all in on March Madness.
Right? So like, this is what we're dealing with. Do me a favor. Let's be real. In the United States, people are going to be watching March Madness NCAA basketball tournaments on Thursday and Friday this week, like tomorrow, okay? And next week. People are going to be all geeked up on it. I don't care if you're doing an office pool or if you just got like debilitating gambling and you're betting on whether or not the guy's going to make the next free throw. Educate your end users. This might even be worth sending out like today to get ahead of tomorrow and just say, hey guys, be mindful. Threat actors or, cyber criminals love setting up fake March Madness gambling sites. Don't fall for them. Period. Full stop. Okay, let's go. All right. Hold on. I do have another sound effect that I want to use. And you might get an end user. You might get an end user who's like,
but I need to bet on this. I've got the triple parlay and I've got an inside line. ESPN Sportsbook told me.
Like I was just ham fisting that voice in for my end users. Yeah. Okay, let's keep going here. Guys, it's been a real great show. I definitely appreciate all of you for being here today. Don't go anywhere because we've got another segment called Jawjacking where I'm going to do a 30-minute AMA. Basically answer your questions. We got a lot of great people in chat, 400 wonderful Simply Cyber community members in here. So if I don't have the answer, we will definitely get you the answer. I'm Jerry, your chat. Until next time, stay secure. Ever wonder what it takes to break into cybersecurity? Join us every weekday for Jawjacking, where industry experts answer your burning questions about the cybersecurity field. Live, unfiltered, and totally free. Let's level up together. It's time for some Jawjacking. All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the party. My name is Jerry Guy, coming hot off the heels of the Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief with that nerd, Dr. Gerald Auger, who is somehow introducing new audio. I thought we had a good thing going, Gerald. Why are you introducing new audio? I do want to give a quick shout out to Thinkst Canary, not a show sponsor, but I just really like their product. If you haven't used Canary tokens, definitely check it out. They are super, super dope. All right. Tony Jack says, after 5 rounds of interviews, 4 months, I received the offer for the BSO role. You can bet your butt I repped the Daily Cyber Threat Brief during my interviews. Tony Jack. I came in like a wrecking ball. Hell yeah, man. Congratulations, Tony Jack. Let's go ahead and give him a wrecking ball emote. Boom, 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 boom. Dude, 4 months, 5 rounds. That's a lot of work, Tony Jack. Love it. Hey, I might be able to do some gifted subs here. I'm going to give 5 subs out, just recognizing Tony Jack's killer accomplishment. Let's do 5 gifted subs. There we go. 5 new squad members. That way, 5 new people can wish Tony Jack a wrecking ball, right? Daniel Helma has access to the wrecking ball now. Paris Gatsby, Jared Matthews. Reinvention starts here. Welcome to the parties, pal.
Welcome to the party, pal.
All right. I will tell you guys really quick, if you have any questions, put them in chat. Put a Q up front so I know it's for me. And then I want to share this with you. I actually watched this last night, and I found it very good. I found this very good. Okay. Really quickly, last week tonight with John Oliver, actually did a he did a whole show on sports betting, which is why I just was able to pull all those facts out. Honestly, I'll just tell you a personal story really quickly because, we do personal things here and I am very transparent with the community. Hold on. All right. So really quickly, I don't gamble. Like when we go to Vegas for Black Hat DEF CON, like I played blackjack because it was like a group thing. I don't really care. I've never really been into gambling. It just doesn't do it for me. I see it as like throwing money away, and I grew up without money. So, and on top of that, just personally speaking, my dad really enjoyed going to the casinos. He wasn't debilitating where he like lost our home or lost money, lost our house or anything like that. But definitely a lot of money flowing out of the house, not really, the big wins coming into the house. So I've seen it kind of firsthand on like, it's just not for me. Right. But if you're interested, the sports gambling scene in the United States, because it's legalized, it's all over the place, and they're actually targeting children now. You have to be 21 to gamble, but there's apps that are targeting 18 plus kids. And basically it's using like virtual currency that can be cashed in for real money. So there's a legal loophole to get kids gambling, which is gross. All right, here we go. Get the questions coming in. Black Sheep 2000 with the gift, with the security excerpt. Way to go. All right, Justin Gold. Carrie says, I had a job offer yesterday for Active Directory reimaging and had to tell them I didn't have the skills or experience. Is there any way to get skills for this fast and easy so I can get this? Well, easy, I don't think so. But what I would say, Carrie, I mean, there's a bunch of ways, right? So Kevin Apollinario has a course that is like designed for help desk. So you can learn Active Directory. Go check that out. I want to say Heath Adams, the Practical Ethical Hacking course, you set up Active Directory in that one. There's a couple courses that like, what's his face? InfoSec Pat has a course. It's not free, but you set up Active Directory in there. I would say, though, I mean, they offered you the job. When you say Active Directory reimaging, you reimage a machine. Active Directory, if they want you to build it from the ground up, that is quite interesting. Usually Active Directories turn into a hot mess express. What I would say, Carrie, is there's a lot of there is a lot of education out there on Active Directory. What I would say, honestly, really quickly, Carrie, is like spin up a couple VMs, get an Active Directory in there, use ADUC, Active Directory users and computers, make some rules resources. You can talk to them about what kind of layout they want, but I don't know if you don't pick up Active Directory like in a weekend. Okay. Justin Gold, Slim Daddy 9 says, I've been in IT for 35 years. Dang, Slim Daddy. Net admin with NetWare, Microsoft with and without AD, Exchange, VMware. Yeah. Should I bother to get CISSP? No. Here's the thing, Slim Daddy. The question is, should you get a, so Emilio Garcia, agree. When you say reimage, that sounds like restoring a backup, not building out AD. So at that point, with AD too, domain controllers, they replicate. So you could set that up. With 35 years of experience, should you bother to get the CISSP? What I would say is, number one, CISSP, last time I checked, are like $800 or something like that to take the exam. So it's an investment. Second of all, with 35 years of experience, you probably have a lot of relationships. I would only get the CISSP if you're trying to get a job and you can't get it. And the CISSP is something that they're asking for that can help differentiate you. But at this point, like for example, Slim Daddy, I have had lots of cybersecurity certifications, CISA, CISM, CISP, Security Plus, other ones that, are more fringe or more niche. And I don't renew any of them except the CISSP, and I do it for sentimental value. I give ISC2 $250, I think, every 3 years as like to scratch a nostalgia itch, because I got my CISP in 2009, and it was a massive career moment for me, and I remember being super proud of myself and excited. So, but I don't think you need it. Again, with any certification, only get it if you need it to get a job. At 35 years of experience, I don't think you do. A Warham says, what's the first things? A Warham, what's the first 3 things you would do when starting a new GRC job? Oh my, hello. Okay, hold on. Let's put this on chat. Oh my God, Carrie, stop. What are you talking about? Sorry, I will never ask a question again. Dude, like, that's negative energy, Carrie. Stop that. Like, ask your questions. We answer the questions. We give you guidance. Take action on it. Don't you don't have to be negative. Okay. So the first, I wish I could find this question so I could bring it up on the stream here. Here it is. The first things I would do with a new GRC job, it depends on what level you are, right? So entry level versus senior. But honestly, I think the first 3 things you should do with any job, really, number 1 is set up meetings with like your team members, your boss, people that you're going to be interfacing with. 15-minute meet and greets, introduce yourself, have them introduce themselves, and explain what you are, what you're planning on doing. Basically set up these interactions that way. When you need to email them, it's not a cold call, right? Or when you need to engage with them, right? Or you could be like, hey, who's the person that we're supposed to talk to about Active Directory? And they're like, oh, that's Todd. And you're like, yes, thank you. All right. That's number 1, is the networking and the meetings. Number 2, what I would say is figure out what they're doing for cybersecurity there, right? So like if they have an SSP or a system security plan, review that. If they have policies, review that. If they have, documented like where they are on this cybersecurity framework, or have they done an enterprise risk assessment, like basically consume whatever information is already available on their current state. That's number 2. Number 3, if you can, talk to the CISO or whoever is friendly with you about what the current roadmap is. Like, what do you do in the next 3, 6, 9 months as an information security program, so you can make sure that what you're doing aligns with that, right? Again, interact with the people who are you're going to be interfacing with, right? So if you're going to be going out into the business, like talking to general counsel or talking to the communications people, especially because you're new, right? When you're new, sending out those meet and greet invites makes a lot of sense because you're new. They want to you want to meet them, they want to meet you, right? But it'll save you it'll save you down the line, okay? Here's a great tip. Ross says, get a library card from your local library and use it to do LinkedIn Learning. Very nice. There's an AD course in there that you can get. There you go, Carrie. Take action on that. Nails it. All right. Whoops. Really quick. Oh my God, Brad. Ronell Wood says, hey, Jerry, I hope all is well per usual. In the Splunk Core certified user, a viable cert for an aspiring SOC security analyst. I'll tell you, like any other cert, look to see if someone's asking for it. I believe I've taken this one. It doesn't hurt, Ronell. Okay, it doesn't hurt. This one's basically going to show you how to use the Splunk interface, which is good, right? Because what I would say is maybe don't pay to get the certification, but do take the training to learn. By doing this one, again, I believe this is the same one that I've taken. It's going to show you how to query a SIM. It's going to show you how to pivot. And basically, like when you're using a SIM and you start finding bad, you're going to want to start pivoting through it to follow the chain to see where things are going. Doing that will show you that. So definitely not a bad option. I don't think it's going to, people aren't going to be like, oh shit, Ronell's done the Splunk certified cert, like let's go. So it doesn't hurt, but practical skills are going to run better. All right. Jay Fox says, CISP to get a job. Yes, no callbacks without 8 companies after I got it. Okay, so this is actually feedback directly from the community. Jay Fox said getting a CISP went from getting no callbacks for job interviews to getting 8 callbacks. So that is documented proof right there, at least in Jay Fox's world. Nice, Jay Fox. Thanks for sharing. Brews and hacks. Eric wasn't sure when I asked yesterday. Chat seemed 50-50. Do you have a stance on whether being verified on LinkedIn is beneficial for average users, job seekers? Okay, so I don't have evidence to support this, but what I would say is yes, right? With the amount of like scams and like North Korea fake jobs and all that crap happening on LinkedIn, having some type of verification sounds pretty good. Like, I'm legit. Now, if it costs money, I don't think it does cost money. I'm pretty sure I'm verified. You just have to provide some evidence to support that you are who you say you are. So it's a one-time set it and forget it, brews and hacks. And I think it would, if someone doesn't care, you being verified or not verified isn't going to change their opinion. If someone does care, you being verified will help them, right? There's nothing negative about being verified. Let's see. I'm continuing to look at chat. Adam V ran out of Crank Coffee. Cam Godat, loving my how I get excited about GRC. I'm wearing a GRC shirt right now. Taekwon Gong, ever had a time where you thought you were improving at work, but turned out you weren't? How did you handle it? Improving at work, but I wasn't. I mean, it's really hard. Taekwon, it's hard for me to answer this question. And I'm not an arrogant prick where I'm like, well, I've never not improved. But my thing is, much like this audio interface experience today and yesterday is just a case study. I just try to improve 1% per day, right? So if I'm improving, I'm trying to level up, I'm trying to study, I'm trying to learn, I'm trying to engage, I'm trying to learn from others, learn from training, whatever. And I feel like I'm always making some improvement a little bit, right? This is a tough one. I guess, for me personally, just thinking right now, in the last year, I've battled with some burnout, which hasn't been good. And it's not something I try to burden this community with, but trying to get organized and then realizing that I'm a complete yard sale and unorganized, that is frustrating. But for me personally, all I can do is keep moving forward. I don't like to dwell on the past. I have very little time to waste, and dwelling on the past and marinating in my own failure is not, it's not helping. It's not benefiting anything. So I just try to, I'm a big fan of lessons learned, right? So this is a big GRC thing, but I do lessons learned. I look at what worked well, what didn't, and I try to do more of what worked well, and I try to do less of what didn't, and then I move forward. I make decisions, I move forward. So hopefully that helps, Taekwon. I know that was a little guru-y and a little vague. I'll tell you another thing, I guess, to be more concrete and material with y'all. So offensive security, right? Pen testing, whatever. I have studied it. I find it fun. I've done lots of labs. I'm terrible at it. I will not be a good offensive security pen tester. And I've realized that, and that's okay. I've chosen not to go that path with my career. And again, that's fine. I've gotten a lot of value, a lot of passion, a lot of fulfillment with GRC and blue team stuff. But I know that I'm not good at offensive security. So I've made the choice, listen, that's just not somewhere that I'm going to excel. So I'm going to spend my energy focusing in other areas. So you got to be real with yourself too, right? Okay. Let me see. I'm going to start moving a little bit quicker through the questions. Ricky doesn't know. Makes me think of Scotty doesn't know. That great song, Euro Trip. I applied for a GRC position with my org. Is a meeting request not an interview to discuss my goals on the position? Good or bad thing? I'm worried. No, I think that's awesome, Ricky. I think that's awesome. It sounds like they're trying to make, help you align with what you're doing now to set you up for success. I wouldn't take it as a bad thing. The only bad meeting you ever get, if you ever get a 15-minute meeting with your boss and someone from HR that you've never met before, that's a bad thing. You don't want that one. Chris Hansen, loved you in To Catch a Predator. I have more than a few cyber certs, but I don't have any cloud-related ones. What cloud certs would make me more marketable or open up doors? I mean, I think CCSP. Hold on. If anyone has any cloud certs in their mind that hold on one second. All right, I'm not seeing CCSP as any particular ones. All right, so here's what I would do, Chris. ISC2 CCSP is the only agnostic cloud cert that I know of. I would check to see if anyone's hiring for that. What I would say is with cloud specifically, cloud is its own paradigm, okay? It's not a lift and shift of on-prem infrastructure or data centers. It's different. So understanding what those technologies do and how they operate is very valuable to employers. So I would actually go focus on a specific tech stack. And if it were my son, right? If my 13-year-old came to me and said, Dad, I want to work in cyber, or I want to work in cloud, what should I do? I would tell him to focus on Azure. And there is a lot of free education around Azure because obviously Microsoft wants a lot of people knowledgeable on Azure so they can do things. AZ 500, AZ 900 are the certs associated with that. 900 is the practitioner, 500 is the security architect. I would go get those, Chris Hansen, because those I suspect are going to have gravity in the market. A lot of people are in the Azure space now. Did you take the GRC master course? Oh, this isn't even a question for me. Sorry. Continuing to look through chat, I see. Thank you, mod chats, for dropping these. I'm just looking for them now to bring them on stream. Cam says, for someone switching careers into cyber, do you think an on-prem position would be more beneficial than a remote one? Yes. All right. So, I mean, I work remotely. I love it, et cetera, et cetera. But it's not just corporate overlords dominating you and make you have a commute that blows. Working on site, you get to shadow someone, you get to hear, you get to see, you can absorb like a sponge a lot more. You can walk into someone's office, you can set up the meetings and have face-to-face. There's a lot of nonverbal communication that's important to read, that if you've ever sent a text message and you don't know the tone, right? Those are the challenges. I like it. Honestly, hybrid, roles are kind of not uncommon at this point. I think it's good. Listen, if I was going to go become what would I become? A financial analyst or something like that, where I know very little bit about money markets and financial stuff. I would want to be able to have people near me to basically help, not prop me up, but give me the best chance to be as successful as I can versus just being in my own little world. So yes, Cam, I think it's good for newer people, right? I do want to say shout out to all of you. Thank you, Phil and Justin, Space Tacos, Roswell, Brews and Hacks, etc. Luke Cam, everybody that's answering questions in addition to myself. This is what Jawjacking is. It's adding value to the community. Seriously, I know some hosts of streams like to be the only voice and just have the audience listen, but I'm all about maximum value and maximum service. So to all those who are offering tangible Answers, good on you. Hey, Norman, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Question from Akil. Any tips to stay positive when you're struggling with the job search? Yeah, I mean, I know it can be frustrating. I have been frustrated myself. I would just say make sure that you're taking time for mental health, right? This is definitely do as I say, not as I do, because I'm terrible at this. But even if you just took 5 minutes and just took a moment to have, don't sweat and get stressed about that's wrong. Take a minute to think about where you are and the good things you have, and like kind of balance yourself. Obviously, with the job search, I mean, make sure that you're taking every advantage. Like if you're not getting callbacks, it's probably your resume. So take focus to improve that. If you're getting interviews, but you're not getting jobs, focus on the interview parts, right? Like try to level up the areas that are specifically the current hurdle, if you will, right? So I guess what I'm saying, Akil, is you can like stay positive by continuing to refine and putting work, effort, and energy into giving yourself better chances. That way, at least when you're applying to the next job, you could be like, I hope this new thing I put in gives me a chance versus just like throwing the same one over there. All right, continuing to look at chat. Shannon Robinson, I have a background in admin and PM. I have a Sec Plus and RMF. Working on MBA concentration. What else do I need to get into GRC? Do I match? Yeah, I think that you're got the right background for GRC. Absolutely. I mean, if you don't, I don't think you need anything else, honestly. If you wanted to, CISM, ISACA CISM could give you an advantage, but like you don't need it based on what you just said in this chat bubble here. What I would say, Shannon, is you're set up for success. I think it's more about networking to find those opportunities. Start, blogging or social media posting, or start, making content, whatever, about the things you're learning in that cyber management MBA, right? Like basically start building a personal brand, start building a network. I mean, obviously you're here right now, which is phenomenal. So you have the right background here for GRC. So let's see. Continuing to look at chat. We are at 9:27. Just a few more minutes. I got a really busy day today. I found out I have to pay taxes. Long story, but basically, I owed the state of South Carolina about $1,200. I forgot to. I don't want to get into it, but I forgot to do something last year, and now I owe the state $1,200. Kayla Kavanaugh currently live in New York City, looking to break in. Should I stay in New York City, or is there a better city, town, state that may be better to have more opportunities? Well, Kayla, I mean, if you're open to moving, I know a lot of people that live in New York City are like diehard New Yorkers. If you're open to moving, Kayla, I mean, the DC Beltway has notoriously been phenomenal for professional services contracts, FISMA compliance, FedRAMP work, right? There's a ton of work there in the Maryland, Virginia, DC area. That's where I cut my teeth, was at with the Marine Corps at the Pentagon. So that's an option. I know Dallas is low-key hot for cyber. Ask B-Dubs, ask Chris Whitlock. There's a pretty strong Dallas cybersecurity situation going on as well. San Diego's not bad, but San Diego's wicked expensive. Plus, you'd be moving to the 4 time zones away, left coast. I like to keep it in the East Coast time. So, Kayla, if you are open to move, then boogie on out of there. For me personally, like, let me just share a personal story with you guys. So my very real, like, first, adult big boy job was a developer, and it was in a small city or whatever. And I met my wife at that job, right? Like it's like a true love story. It's amazing. Like she started the day after I did. The moment I saw her, I was like a bolt of lightning struck me. And I'm not even literally not being hyperbolic. Okay. Like I was dumbfounded. I was stunned when I saw my wife. Like the very first moment I saw her, I knew I was going to marry her, which is like insane because it's like, thank God it worked out because I sounded like an absolute psychopath. I courted her for, whatever. And then I said to her, like, I literally was like living with my girlfriend and she had a boyfriend of like years. And I was like, nope, everything like this is happening. We are going to spend our life together. And, the whole reason I'm getting to this point, Kayla, is because I was in love with this woman. And I said to her, hey, listen, I've got to move to, like, we were in Massachusetts. I said, I have to move to Washington, D.C. and take this job because long-term, I want to provide for you and our family. We're not even dating, by the way, at this point. I said, I have to move to D.C. to provide for you and our family long-term. I will be back. I need to work there for a year, maybe 2. I will be back and then we'll start a life together. This is what I need to do to put a foundation underneath us to build this thing. And she said, all right. And I said, all right. And then, I moved. I did what I had to do. Now, granted, it was a long distance relationship. She flew down, I flew up, whatever. But I moved for it. And, like it was the right move. So Kayla, if you can move, you can always move back to New York City. All right. All right, so we are over time. So now I'm going to speed run. If you live in the UK area, definitely connect on the Discord server. We are trying to get local meetups going. So Roswell UK is up in there. I'm looking at chat for questions now. I'm going to give 30 seconds per question. Any questions that are remaining in chat. Cam says that's awesome. Yeah, it's a true story. I've told it many, many times. All right, we are at time. Oh, it's time for Simply ICS Cyber. Oh, shoot. Hold on. God damn it. I'm sorry. All right, guys. Hey, check it out really quickly. I wish I knew.
Prior to that, I worked for Dragos for about 4 years.
Look at this. Critical infrastructure versus everything else. We got Gus Serino, Industrial Control System, INC Secure Inc. with our friends Tom Van Norman and Don Weber. Guys, if you're interested at all in industrial control systems, operational technology, that type of security, definitely come check out Simply ICS Cyber. I'm sorry that we did it late. Here we go. Let's go rate it together. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Thank you all so very much. Thank you, Kimberly Can Fix It. Thank you, mods. And we'll see you out there. Until next time, stay secure.